So is the void the feeling of that bliss?
The void is bliss.
Is bliss. So when you get past the fear of the void, that's when you go into the depth of
beautiful,
bliss.
Beautiful. And so the question is, thank you, and that keeps going here. So the question is here, if the ego cannot recognize the truth, and of course it can't, you know, so how do we go about it? Are we willing to become void? Are we willing to be silent, to be empty of everything? Yeah.
Well, you implied before, and I've heard this many times as well, and that whatever resistance you feel that's keeping you from that merging with the all that is simply the thread that you need to follow.
That's right.
That will lead you eventually toward a greater discovery.
That's right. That is the thread. Yeah. Because why is it the thread, that line that takes us there where we want to go? The pain, the fear, the disappointment, disillusionment, all can lead to a breakthrough of understanding if we follow it through. You know why? Because it's all coming from being. But the pain isn't pain, the fear isn't fear, it is the interpretation. You see, the thread feels like a threat to us. And that's the interpretation, whereas in truth, it is the link to our true essence. And this is why to accept your full humanity, because your humanity is as it is because you can't help it. It is your link to the source. It is a reflection of being, if you allow it. When you don't allow it, because you have ideas of how things should be, because of the way you want them to be. You see, we want to make things real. And because we want to make things real, then we have ideas how they should be. You see? And that's when we go into control and into problems. But in truth, there is no such thing as how it should be. How it is to be followed. Remove the label fear, remove the label pain or anger from it, and follow that thread. Okay? T-H-R-E-A-D. Thread, right? Okay, sometimes I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. So this is what we need to follow. When you follow it through, you get back to where it started from. Because every experience that we have that we call negative is a need for us to that which is real. You see? And so, but we do not see it that way. And then we get disappointed. Oh, I want somebody to love me. Well, of course, love is all that there is, right? And then we get so disappointed and hurt when it doesn't come out the way it, and it never will anyway, because we have expectations, right? And it can never be. But the reason everything falls apart is because we're making real that which isn't real, but we're hoping it is, to give us some meaning. We do not realize it that we have to go beyond what the mind thinks it is to get to its essence of oneness. So let's put it in a simple way. Oneness is doing everything. Everything. The guy suffering and crying out in loneliness and pain, oneness is doing it. The guy in ecstasy, in joy, in happiness, oneness is doing it. One is misinterpreting his experience, the other one is experiencing it as it is. And that's the difference, to see what is. So all it is a misinterpretation, like the Course in Miracles says. It's a misperception of reality, you see? And when you have a misperception of reality, using the Course in Miracles term, immediately it becomes that which we abhor more than anything. So that which you fear will come upon you as a matter of course, because you're seeking what is real when it isn't real. So when you make something real that isn't real, it will own you. Do you understand what owning means? If money becomes all powerful to you, money will own you. You can have $1 million, but you're poor because you're afraid to spend. You see what I mean? Similarly with owning land. You see? You like the power of it, of owning, but it owns you. Because you spend all your time trying to maintain it, taking care of it, blah, 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 blah. By the time you're 70, 80, you wonder where your life went. Taking care of these things. So anything that you make real will own you. And this is why masters, very enlightened beings, become very unworldly. They give up things, they become renunciates, not because you should do it, but because the less things you own, the better and freer you feel. You see? And life will take care of you anyway. How does life take care of you? And why does life take care of you?
Because you are life.
Because you are life. You've never been anything else. Life is a flow, is a motion. And it's always moving in harmony. Did you know that? Do you know that life is always in balance? It's always moving in harmony? It's always moving in love? But when we look around, we don't see that. We see war, we see strife. Why? Because the people in it who are creating the wars want power. Why do we want power? Because life, the source, is powerful. But we seek it on the outside. And it doesn't work. You see? You cannot own life. You are life. So it will own you. And when power owns you, then you go berserk. Then you can never kill enough. Because killing other people would be your way of staying alive. You know, having supremacy over life. You know what I mean? And so this is where the corruption comes in. Through making things real that are not real. And so when Einstein came up with this theory of relativity, everything is relative. Relative to what? To that source, to that is, to that perfection, to that balance, to that love. You see? Okay, that's...
But can you feel, you know, you say you let go of unworldly things, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, what happens if you're okay with the worldly things?
Yeah.
And
As long as they don't own you, yeah.
Yes, if they don't own you.
Yeah, that's fine.
There's no problem with it. As
Sure.
long as you can see that perspective from that perspective.
Absolutely. I have 2 computers. I love them. I wouldn't give them away. But when I went to the hospital, I forgot everything that I had computers. See what I mean? So the point is that nothing owns you. You see? You enjoy it, you use it.
But if someone steals
But,
it, oh, well.
Well, yeah, you'll buy another one.
Yeah.
And if you can't afford it, you save and you buy another one.
Yeah. As
Yeah.
long as you don't put that, yeah.
No, but if it frustrates you, if it collapses you, then that means it's owned you. You see?
It's harder for a rich man to get to heaven than a camel to the eye of a needle. It's just the attachment to the riches, I guess.
That's exactly it. Yeah. The attachment keeps you locked, keeps you stuck.
It's more the identification, because you could be passionate about many things, including, you know,
That's right.
having 20,000 fish.
Yeah.
But know that it doesn't mean anything.
Right.
So it's not the appearance of what you have or don't have.
That's right.
So it's not like
Yeah.
we need to throw it all away so that we're good.
No,
or
no, right.
We need to have it all. So that the having is immaterial.
The having is immaterial. Yes. Yeah. Absolutely immaterial. You see, if you lose it, you lose it. If you don't, it's fine. It's nice to have it there.
Because you recognize the game that it is, and then you can play it, but it doesn't play you.
That's right. The fact is not what you have or don't have. The fact is that it doesn't own you. And everything owns you, that which you make real. Remember this. If you make anything real, then it will own you. Immediately. Afraid of losing it, afraid of being without it. You see? Immediately. But when you see nothing is real except God, except love, except this isness, this totality, and everything else is simply coming from it, then you're in heaven.